Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Sierra and this is your Bestie Blogger. This video is going to be a part of my series of testimonies. And so this is going to be pretty much part 2 of the last testimony that I did. The last one was how God moved me to Florida. This testimony is going to be how God blessed me with a new apartment in Florida. And then I think I'm gonna title this video New Apartment, New City, New State, Who Dis? I was very ecstatic for this in so many ways. When I moved here, the place that I really wanted to live, it was on an owl. And if you don't know what an owl is, it's kind of like it's not an island, but it's smaller. It's a lot smaller than an island. So this video is going to be all about the apartment God blessed me with, where my time for my lease was coming to an end, and I knew at the end of my lease God wanted me to move to Florida. From the time he first gave me the thought of moving to Florida, which was 2 or 3 in the morning, to when I actually did it when my lease was over, it was four months. Oh wow, September 8th. Wow. When I wrote all this down and when I did everything, I actually did not remember the date until just now, September 8th. So yeah, September 8th, 2018 is when I made my move. And I think he told me at the end of May. So it was not a long time of when I was good, had no reason to move, but ended up moving everything. So when did I go? So I went to go visit a friend. Yeah, I went to go visit a friend in Florida who lived a couple cities away from where I was. So it was a couple hours away. Well, where I was planning on moving, where God told me to, St. Pete, Florida. And I didn't actually get a chance to visit the actual city of St. Pete itself. I only got to see everything else, see a couple cities away. And so I had a chance to swing by the apartment. So yeah, I'm driving, I go and I stop in because everything online is telling me there's no availability and it's not going to be any availability in what I want or what I need. And so honestly, with that being said, I don't know why I stopped in. I just stopped in. And so I went in, and so I go to talk. I go in, it's a really big room, very spacious. And then you got the 2 desks very far off by the windows, and there was a door in between. So I go, I sit on the right, and I'm waiting for the lady. And I think one lady, she goes to answer the phone. There's another lady at the desk, and I think that was the main lady. And I'm waiting for them to tell me they're looking to availability, and they tell me no. They're waiting for one or 2 people this evening to renew their lease, and that it depends on what they do. And so I'm like, oh, okay. As she tells me that, the phone rings. Literally seconds later, the phone rings. She goes answer it. It's the people who are supposed to renew their lease today. They call, say they do not want to renew their lease, and the lady tells me, she's like, they do not want to renew their lease. Would you like the place? Would you like the apartment since you're the first one here? If that ain't God, y'all. And I was like, absolutely. I was like, this is mine. I literally just came into Florida now, and I'm leaving. I think I was leaving maybe later that day or that night. I think that was it. I think I was leaving that day, and I just happened to swing by before I got on the highway. And so I was like, yes, please. And so we go look at a different apartment. She's like, it'll be kind of like this. And literally just by moving in faith and going, God allowed me to get that apartment because I was the first one there. I was already there waiting for it. And so I look at it, I accepted. This is the place I end up moving. The unit that I actually end up moving into, you know, remember I said I want a place on the water. From my door, I can see the water, and walking from, I'm upstairs and there's a downstairs, nobody above me. So walking from my door down the stairs to the water took me 2 minutes and 17 seconds. Because there's like a yard and there's stairs and to get in the water. But yeah, it took me 2 minutes and 17 seconds. It was a really cool, great experience. I even tried to like time, because I worked at a bar downtown. I even tried to kayak to work one day, but not like just to see the time, because we're like downtown St. Peter's, and where the owl that I lived on, it was kind of like this. So to kayak, it was pretty cool. Like sometimes I could bike to work, and I did bike to work sometimes, and it didn't take too long. But then I was like, well, what if I kayak? But then I was like, no, I get off late, so I don't want to go in the dark. But that's how close it was biking downtown. So if I wanted to like, not biking, kayaking. So if I wanted to kayak downtown and like hang out at the park or something, I could. It really was an amazing location. So yeah, that happened with the phone call. Let's see. I told God, if I move to Florida, like if we move to Florida, God, I want to be on the water. Check. He did it. I got to live on an owl, which was amazing. Oh, so when I went back home to Pooler, Georgia, trying to get there. Okay, you guys. So I lived in a very big place by myself. I lived in a gated community. I had a garage. I had a really big garage downstairs. I had a big upstairs. I had my room alone, I had two big closets. I had a walk-in closet. I had an extra closet in my room. I had a two bedroom. No, I moved into a 2-bedroom. But in this place, I just had a lot of space, a lot of storage. I think I had a U-Haul that moved like a 2 or 3 bedroom home. Yeah, and my U-Haul was full, very full. I had to call up one of my friends, and she was so amazing. So amazing. She came with her little sister, and at the time, her little sister's boyfriend, but they're now married, and they came and helped me pack up the rest of my house, move it, load it all into the U-Haul. And again, I had stairs in my apartment. So it was amazing. And so I knew this was the day before, actually, you guys. This was the day before, and I thought I was able to do it. She just happened to swing by because we worked across the street from where I was living. And then she called her brother, her sister, and her boyfriend. That's how it worked out. That was God too, because I would not have been able to pack and be where I needed to be. So the next day I had an appointment with the lease office to meet them. To meet them and get the key and everything. So the next morning I wake up at 6 a.m. I think 6 or 5, and I'm trying to leave. And I think I woke up earlier then because the sun wasn't up, and I tried for hours and hours and hours to get my car on the ramp, the U-Haul ramp, so I can load it behind me. I could not at all. I think I tried for like at least 3 hours because I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna wake people up. The car that I had set very, very, very low to the ground, so it didn't have enough space to ride over. And honestly, the only way I got my car on that was I destroyed my bumper. I had to. I tried for hours. I'm like, at the point that I got it on, it was already long enough where I knew I was not going to make it on time to my appointment. So I think I just gunned it and just drove it. I'm like, I don't care if the car's messed up. I got to get here. And I'm like, there was nothing I could do. I think, and I couldn't even call anybody because it was so early in the morning. There's no one around. No one lived near me where I can call anybody for help. So I finally get unloaded. I get on the road. I call them. I'm like, I'm going to be late. And then when I get to Florida, oh, I didn't even say that part in the, so you guys, so the restaurant that I worked at when I was in Savannah, I opened up that restaurant. And so at like our grand opening, I have a very good memory. I can get clients once a year, and I can remember like what they got, what they said they wanted next time, and all these different things. I can remember everything but their names. that's how my memory works. And so a group of guys that came in, and I was like, oh, I remember you guys from the grand opening. They were like, really? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, you said here, you ordered this, you ordered that, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, wow, like you really do remember us. But that was like, they haven't been there for over a year. And so, yeah. And so they actually got a contract in across the street in our parking lot, like near our parking lot. And so they were coming to Savannah I want to say almost every week. And so I think my dog is going to scratch out the door. Sorry if he does. And so they were coming to Savannah like quite often, but they all lived in different areas in Florida. I feel like one lived in Miami, one lived in Fort Lauderdale, one lived like Amelia Island, and they were just spread out all over Florida. And so them constantly coming back, I became friends with them. So when I moved to Florida, there was two like within an hour or two of where I live. So when I finally got there and I had my U-Haul, they were there waiting for me, and I loaded my U-Haul and was able to get all my stuff loaded into my house for me the moment I got there. Like, I was so grateful for that. And that's another thing, like in your transitioning season, God will supply. He will make sure that you have helpers. But, oh my gosh, God is so good. God is so good. Oh. And the thing is, when the best part about these testimonies is even when you think it's not going to work out, God makes it work out in ways that you couldn't even comprehend. And then he'll do it again and again and again and again. So there is no... So me sharing my testimonies, it's almost like a breath of fresh air in a sense, because when this happened, this was in 2018. I can't even count how many miracles, like crazy godly miracles that have happened from then to now. And just seeing how he started working then when my faith was starting to grow with him, and then looking at how like I messed up in between that, and he just kept blessing me, setting miracles and doing all these great things and outdoing himself again. And then now I'm like, okay, God, I'm all in. You guys, if you look back and ever saw where God did something great in your life, just know that it's going to keep getting better. It doesn't matter how big of a miracle it was. It keeps getting better and better and better. Gosh. We serve a really good God, and he's never gonna let you down. And he will keep using you if you allow him to. Wow. Wow. I'm sorry, you guys. Yeah, but I think that's it for that testimony. It's just when I thought I couldn't move, when I thought I didn't have a place to move to, when he told me I would be on the water, the moment I walked into the building, just like that, he made it possible. And then when I got the place, I didn't have to struggle. He sent help to help me pack my belongings, and he sent help to help me unload everything. And then on top of that, you guys, because prior to this move, I worked very hard. I was working like two to three jobs. I was able to move to a new city in a new state, and God allowed me to thoroughly enjoy that time. I didn't have to work for the first like 2 months or so that I was there. It wasn't in his will. I was able to, just by being obedient and doing that move, I was able to like really enjoy life in a way I've never have before. The way everything worked out physically, financially, I would wake up and I was like, I moved to a city I know nothing about, and that was the best part. So I would park somewhere, and St. Pete is it's not a walkable town, but like once you park somewhere, like it's a lot to do and like walk around in certain areas. So I would go somewhere, I would park, and I would just walk. I went into every single store, saw what they had, and then crossed the street and then did the same thing. I've been in every single store. I walked every single block. I went and got to see everything in the downtown and the midtown, and I was able to enjoy life, to enjoy the environment, to really get to know, to see what was where, to drive and go and do all these things, to relax, to enjoy where he sent me. Wow. And every time, you guys, like when God is transitioning you somewhere, I'm sorry. When God is transitioning you somewhere, he's going to give you that peace. He's not going to be like, I know it was hard to get here, but now get to work. He's going to give you that grace. There's always a grace period where his peace is on you, and he's allowing you to enjoy where he sent you. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And it's always gonna get better, because you guys, I'm sorry. After you see like all of the testimonies, you kind of understand why I'm getting so emotional right now, but I can't really tell you until like all of the testimonies come to pass, and I upload them all. But God is so good, and I pray that whoever needs that little bit of encouragement, if you're going through your transitional season, if you're already in it and it just feels hard and difficult and there's a lot of questions, God is good. Oh my gosh. And I actually, you guys, and if you are, I actually have a women's ministry for women I actually have a women's ministry. The link is in my bio. It's called Becoming Queen Bee. Oh my gosh, God, so good. So if you want to be a part of that women's ministry, the link is in the bio. It is a membership. It is a lot of things involved. There's a lot of things involved in it. I'm gonna leave another link explaining what it is, because I'm kind of like a really blissful mood at the moment in my mind. I just gotta end this video, you guys. And I just gotta go praise God. But I love you guys. Thank you for watching this testimony. If you didn't see part 1, I'll link all that, and there's gonna be a lot more testimonies to come, you guys. Thank you. Bye, guys.